Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Mark.
I'm Britton.
And today we're watching the movie Splice.
Yeah.
So without any further ado, let's get started. Because I have an awful lot to talk about this.
Yeah, you were very opinionated.
And I think you might have a thing or two to say about this as well.
Yeah.
But this movie actually came as a recommendation from a friend of ours named Victor.
Yes.
And he said that it was one of the worst movies he had ever seen in his entire life. He said he walked out of that theater and he spent an hour talking about the movie, like, to, I guess, whoever he saw it with.
Yeah.
And they were just dissecting it and talking about all the parts and how bad it was. And I gotta say, I didn't see that at all. I went into this expecting a terrible movie, and I got the greatest single movie in the entire history of cinema.
It was definitely... It was unsung comedy of that decade.
And I think that might be the one of the big problems, is that the movie was likely marketed as a horror movie. In fact, I think the makers of the movie thought they were making a horror movie.
Yeah, like it was produced by Del Toro.
Yeah.
Like there were some names behind this,
and somehow it had to have been one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And it's not like it was it's not like it's like The Room, where things are so like awkward that you have no choice but to laugh. It was like I just feel that the way that they shot and filmed it, that there was no way that they weren't making this funny. Like
the timing of it had a beat. It had a beat of comedic timing to everything that went wrong in it. And
like every single time, let's just talk about the plot, the general plot of the movie before we get too bogged down into specifics. A husband and wife, or at the very least,
boyfriend and girlfriend, at least.
Yeah, they are working as scientists, I guess, chemical scientists or biochemistry scientists.
Yeah, like bioengineers type deal.
And they create a monster, a creature, a few creatures for to develop some sort of protein, and then they decide to take one of these creatures and splice into it some human DNA and see what happens.
Yeah.
And of course, the creature produces the mixture of two produces a creature that the woman, grows attached to and names and raises.
Well, at first it goes through a series of metamorphoses.
Yes.
Like it starts off as a tadpole, and then becomes a little kangaroo rat.
Yeah.
And then becomes a hideous little girl. And
then it becomes an attractive older girl.
Yeah.
Teenager or a 20-something-year-old.
Yeah.
Although I checked the actress who played her, and she's like apparently, I think she was like 40 or something or so by the time the movie came out, which it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, the things computers can do.
But yeah, that's the basic plot. And in the beginning, the woman is more motherly and nurturing towards the creature, towards the monster.
Yeah.
And the husband wants nothing to do with it, and he actually tries to kill it on several occasions.
Yeah, like at one point, it's dying of a fever, and Adrian Brody he had enough, and he just decides, all right, since we're cooling it down in the in the tub, and it's still giving him a fuss, he decides to just dunk it,
just merge, just drown it, and then it turns out, oh no, it actually likes to be in the water. It's got amphibian.
Yeah, it's frog lungs.
Yeah, so he's like, oh yeah, I predicted that.
I knew it would do that.
And so like he's kind of against the creature at first, and then like as it becomes an attractive woman, he's like, you know what, this creature's not so bad.
Well, attractive's a harsh term.
Attractive is a nice term.
Or attractive is a broad term. I would say, like.
I'm finger quoting attractive. Is that better?
Oh, okay. That's a lot better.
Attractive woman. He decides, you know what? Maybe I can. Maybe me and this creature can have something together. So he has sex with it.
Yeah.
And then the wife / girlfriend comes in and catches him.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, we've both made some mistakes with this monster. And then the monster dies, and then it comes back to life, and then it kind of kills people.
Yeah.
And then they kill it, and that's the end.
And like there's some spoilers along the way. Like there's some other things that'll kind of spoil the movie, but like I don't think we really need to reveal them.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't really like usually we're pretty liberal with the spoilers, but like it doesn't really, us addressing them doesn't really add or detract from the whole experience.
Like we could like go beat by beat for these different scenes of the movie and talk about what made them hilarious,
silly,
and weird, but this is just a movie that you might want to look for yourself, just so you can see. Maybe other people get a different opinion of it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll think it's horror, but I personally think that it was anything like the dialogue just didn't crackle, and it almost sounded like sitcom dialogue.
Oh yeah, it was just like repeating the last line or just going back and forth with the same line. Like when Adrian Brody was listening to his headphones and beating on the wall. Just her, the woman asking him.
Could you stop that?
What?
Could you stop that?
What?
Could you stop that?
What?
Take your headphones off.
Huh?
Could you stop that?
Okay. and yeah, that a lot of that.
And so also there was like one thing I do want to talk about, I guess, a little bit. Again, it's not really. I'm not going to go into deep spoilers or anything like that. I'm probably going to go into spoilers in general, but I'm going to say the last 15 minutes of the movie were unnecessary. Like the big, climax where they're, fighting it off and everything.
Yeah.
I don't think that was necessary. Actually, I think the story was much more satisfying before that. I was like, it did exactly what we thought it was going to do. It closed, it was more about these, this couple and their, reaction to how this does and how they both kind of, they perverted science and, in one way or another. And they kind of, it put a strain on their relationship, and it was like, it closed the necessary, story,
and it kind of revealed to each other like who they really are as people. The wife being a little bit of a sociopath at times, and Adrian Brody just being a wet blanket.
Yeah, and it was definitely more interesting where they left it off. And I have a feeling, I can't confirm this, but I have a feeling that the movie was kind of supposed to end thereabouts, and it probably didn't test well with audiences, so they tacked on a monster battle at the end.
That's it. Kind of reeked a little bit of the executive hands.
Yeah. But like overall, yeah, I think what happened was I went into it expecting one thing, and I just realized, like, man, this is so absurdly funny and ridiculous.
Well, it's really because, throughout this whole ordeal, this thing is an asshole. Like, it's just making a mess and yelling all the time. It won't shut up. It doesn't want to eat.
Like at one point they're because they're doing this pretty much on the down low, like they've been told by their science bosses like not to do any more experiments, and so they have to keep it a secret, and they keep like it's like Alf, like they're trying to keep it secret at some points from the nosy neighbors and everything, and it's just bit by bit, like beat by beat, it's just one silly ridiculous thing after another, and I haven't laughed so hard at a movie in a while.
Like it just needs like a nosy Don Knotts coming in, trying to what's all the racket around here?
What is that?
or a Sergeant Schultz. I see nothing.
Or a Major Bellows from I Dream of Jeannie. There's a reference for you. Gladys, from Bewitched. Which I think I may have mentioned before, but I've watched a few episodes of Bewitched somewhat more recently.
Yeah.
And because my mom loves it, whenever I'm visiting her, it'll usually be on, and so I'll pop it on an episode and I'll watch them with her or whatever. And some of them are pretty funny, like because not just because of Gladys, she's actually it's kind of annoying, but it's more funny that her husband kind of thinks that she's a lush because she always sees the weird stuff, and whenever whenever it's time for him to see it, like things go back to normal, and he looks and he just sees like a normal thing, and he's like, all right, just lay down and just shut up.
Time to get you back at the Betty Ford clinic. And
she hasn't even existed yet, but we still have a Betty Ford clinic.
I think there was still a Betty Ford.
It turns out that the Betty Ford clinic came before the Betty Ford.
Like, she was engineered just for the clinic.
It was like she was actually a clinic builder, and Gerald met her and was like, you know what? That's a good Gerald Ford. Shut up. You know what? You have all it takes to be my wife. And then they get married, I think that's how it worked.
Man.
It was weird that her name was Ford before they got married.
It was, like, they chose not to look too deeply at the family tree.
There were some branches that were kind of intertwined.
Yeah, there were some converging limbs.
Like, he was the Fords of the presidential Fords and, and all, like, the politician Fords, which I'm assuming there were. And she was the Fords of the, the motor Fords. And, she came from Detroit. She's just a small town girl. Born and raised in South Detroit. Wait, I got them mixed up.
Living in a lonely world.
Yeah, you're right. Well, lonely world can be in Detroit.
I don't know. Detroit is really known for its loneliness.
I mean, you can be lonely anywhere. You can be lonely even in a big city.
I guess.
Like, they took the midnight train going anywhere. They probably left from the same platform. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's my interpretation of Don't Stop Believing.
So what was it about? Oh, that's right. You were going on about the. I forgot you had finished your story about.
I just kind of got sidetracked with Betty Ford. Abner, Betty Ford. Go ahead.
I guess it's never really a good. It's never really something good when you have a clinic named after you. That's really setting a bad precedent.
Did somebody say president? No, precedent.
Oh.
Okay, fine, president. Yay! That's a good Gerald Ford.
I couldn't tell you yes or no because I don't think I've ever heard the man.
The only Gerald Ford that I know, or that I've heard speak, was one at the end of The Simpsons when George Bush moves in across the street.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, he leaves and Gerald Ford moves in and Homer gets along with him. So I'm doing my entire Gerald Ford impersonation on probably Dan Castellaneta's impersonation of Gerald Ford.
Hey, you sound like Jimmy Stewart.
Well, he's like, "Hello, Homer. I'm former president." Maybe he didn't sound like that. I'm former President Gerald Ford!
Like, a lot of people didn't know he had a hearing problem.
What? Did you say something, Homer?
Take your headphones off.
What did you say, Homer? Gerald Ford. I didn't expect to be shouting Gerald Ford right now, but that's just kind of where I go to.
Yeah. Yeah, I shouted at the walls.
You shout at the walls, or you just shout Gerald Ford, at the walls? I don't know. I just shout. Okay.
Yeah, just shout. Sometimes you just need to shout.
Is that what you do in your bedroom? Is that what I always hear in there?
That's how I get to sleep.
You scream yourself to sleep.
Yeah, I'm like Uncle Fester.
We've all been there, I guess. In all due fairness, I don't think I've ever screamed myself to sleep. I don't think that's healthy. Like, I don't know.
Like, it gets all that built up energy from the day out, and you just you belt a good one out, and maybe do a few incantations here and there, and then
a backflip.
And then you just snuggle up in your bed sheets and you drift away
with your Teddy straitjacket. No, I've been
with my Teddy Manson.
I'm assuming you mean Marilyn Manson, of course.
Sure.
Okay, that's a little. That makes me feel a little bit better. Like, it just sings rock songs. It's like one of those ones that you wind up in the back, like one of those
you pull the string.
Yeah. We're all stars now. Like, like Teddy Manson.
He did sing that, right?
I don't know what you were singing.
And My Own Personal Jesus.
Oh.
I think that was Manson.
Yeah. Sure.
I could be wrong.
I don't think I've ever heard that song, actually.
You probably did.
Oh, okay, sure. I guess you're the authority on my life. No, I probably have, actually. I probably have and didn't know it. Like, I've heard... I think the only songs I know that he's done are The Dope Show, and I think he did a remake of Sweet Dreams Are Made of This.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I know he also did a remake of... oh, what the hell
Tainted
is it?
Love?
Yeah, Tainted Love, which wasn't that great.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I was like, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Kind of sounds like it, yeah.
I can hear him doing that song.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe I can do my own Marilyn Manson song. I remember I talked about it before. I wanted to do a Marilyn Manson-esque song to If I Only Had a Heart. Have like an industrial beat in the background, like boom, 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 or when a man's an empty kettle, he should be on his metal, and yet I'm torn up. That's how he sings.
Yeah, I guess Donald Duck's doing the backup.
That'd be a Marilyn Manson and Donald Duck mashup.
It's like when Elton John was singing with Minnie Mouse in that one thing.
I don't know. Did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh wait, was that the end of that video that you showed me?
Yeah, it was. I think he was singing "Don't Go
Breaking My Heart."
Yeah, with Minnie. Yeah, and this is just Donald Duck with Marilyn Manson. You gotta make it more modern nowadays for the kids.
You know, yeah, because Marilyn Manson is really the most modern singer I think we even know. Let's see. There's I don't know. Okay, I guess I don't know any modern singers.
Drake.
Okay.
Is he still? Actually, Drake's kind of.
That's the problem.
Yeah, Drake. I can't really think of the latest thing. I guess Cardi B.
I don't think I've ever heard a song by her, but I know of her. Wait, who's that? Who's that one? Billie Eilish?
Yeah, Billie. I thought you were gonna say Billy Idol. I'm like,
Billy Idol.
He's still relevant. That old kids still love their Billy Idol.
Hey, they still like White Wedding. Hey, little sister, what have you done? Because he's old. I sound like Marv Albert when I do a old Billy Idol. Hey, little sister. Maybe no, that's not Marv Albert.
You sound like a character from Beavis and Butthead.
Like Hank Hill.
Yeah.
Or the Hank Hill prototype,
yeah.
Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson. You kids! And your rock music. The only
But, I think Billie Eilish.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard anything by her, so
neither have I.
I just know names. I don't know any songs. It's like, I think the most recent song I think I've heard was Anacondas by Nicki Minaj. That's as far back as I'm willing to go.
Yeah, and that's
like
a few years
10
old.
years old. Maybe it's not 10 years old, but it might as well be. I think I was in Bucks at the time, so it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh man, jeez. Wow, getting old, Britton.
Well, it's... Yeah.
Nah, that's...
Yeah, it's...
Sunrise, sunset.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, gonna happen. It's happened.
Yeah.
Like, I wake up and my back hurts, I had to get a little cane, something like that. Alright, maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe I'm not there yet.
Like, it reminds me of every time I throw my back out, you offer to, do Batman, Dark Knight Rises and punch me in the back.
It helped Batman. Well, it probably didn't, but probably made it worse for him.
Like, he would have climbed out months ago had that guy not punched him in the back every night.
He was like, alright, we need to fix your back. Oh, okay.
Why do you think I put you in the cell with him?
Here's the reason I have the mask. He was a dentist. So apparently, Jimmy Stewart is also Bane.
Yeah.
He was a dentist. And a success.
Ugh.
Don't that.
Ugh.
I love that movie.
Hey, that was Little Shop, right?
Yep, Little Shop of Horrors. That was your favorite guy, Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Hey, that was a good role for Steve Martin. It was him not, because he was only in it for 10 minutes and he died, so it was a pretty good role for him.
He was in it briefly, and he also had Bill Murray to back him up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess spoiler alert. People who were just waiting until today to watch Little Shop
Little
of Horrors.
Shop
They had it all set up. They're like, you know what? Sunday we're gonna watch Little Shop of Horrors. It's gonna be good. Let's listen to this podcast first, and then it's gonna be good.
Bill Murray's in it.
And then, I didn't want to hear that. And then Steve Martin dies.
Well, that's good at least.
And and then the plant dies, but in the original version, it doesn't. Is that a spoiler? Yeah, it's a spoiler. He told you the fucking plant died.
And then Frank Oz does a condescending commentary.
Oh, gosh. I told you that, right?
Yeah.
I was, because there was a time where I was obsessed with that movie. I guess obsessed is a strong word. I had it, and I showed it to Dominic, and then Dominic absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So we ended up watching it like almost, because I used to babysit him, and we used to watch it like almost every day, or or every other day kind of thing. It was like a it was like a tradition. We'd go down to Wawa, we'd get some food, and we'd watch Little Shop of Horrors, and
Like, over and over again?
well, every day. Or at least, like, it started out like every day, and then then it was like, all right, we got tired of Little Shop, and then like a week would go by. I'm like, hey, Dominic, you want to watch Little Shop? Yeah, I do. And then we'd watch it again, But there were right in the middle of that phase, I started like watching it on my own, or at least I watched the commentary. Like, I'm kind of curious now what the commentary of this movie's like, because the director is Frank Oz, and of course he's Yoda and several other people.
Isn't he Gonzo as well?
No. I think that's another guy. I think it's Steve. No, Steve. It was another one. Yeah, he was Fonzie or Fozzie. Hey, waka waka. But so yeah, he was all the annoying. He was like Grover.
Yeah.
Miss Piggy, obviously. I forgot about that one. So I was like, all right, let's see what this Muppet has to say about this movie he made. And man, oh man, was it the most condescending thing I've ever seen from a director. Like, it wasn't just, we timed this so it was, good. But he was talking about, like, most people wouldn't get this timing, but I had the timing down perfect. Like, every little step that he took had to be perfectly timed. Most people won't even notice it, but I would have noticed it, and that's why I did it like that. Most people wouldn't even done it like that, and it would have been a lesser movie for it. And so I'm like, man, it's a movie about a singing plant. Like, maybe you should slow your roll a little bit.
He's a passionate man who likes the singing plants.
Yeah, he's a passionate director. The only other movie I know that he directed was The Score, with Robert De Niro and...
Really?
Yeah, he directed that.
Frank Oz directed that?
Yeah, and...
I'll be damned.
And the funny thing is, before I went to boot camp, I used to watch that, not a lot, but quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because I really like that movie. I still do. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But I remember I watched the commentary, and thinking back on it now, because it was Frank Oz's commentary, like, it also was very condescending. Not as condescending as, like, you had to get the musical beats right or else it wouldn't work. But it was still like, I try to hide this vase in every scene, but most people won't see it, but I do, and that's why I'm a visionary. It was his normal condescending self. But this is before I saw the Little Shop commentary, and I didn't realize he was just looking down his nose at me.
It sounds like he's trying hard to be Kubrick, wherein Kubrick just had a problem.
Yeah, Kubrick was just
a crazy.
Yeah, but damn it, if crazy is what you need to have movies like that, then we need more crazies, or less. I don't know, maybe less shit, because like Kubrick, as far as I'm concerned, he has probably one of the best horror movies ever made, with The Shining. Probably one of the best science fiction movies ever made, with 2001. Probably one of the best or noteworthy war movies ever made, with Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best love stories ever made, with Lolita. And okay, maybe not that one. Though I will say that I didn't think I would like that movie when I watched it. I thought it would be a little bit too disturbing, but it turned out to be kind of funny. And I think the reason it was because Peter Sellers was in it.
Yeah.
And he played, again, just like he did in Doctor Strangelove, he played like 3 roles or 2 roles. Although in this one it made sense that he was the same person, just playing dress up. but it was still a very, like, he added something so, what's the word thing, like, almost quirky or eccentric to the movie, that it was less weird and more just fascinating. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? And then, of course, Scatman Crothers was in it. He played,
was he?
Yeah, and he was basically, I think, like the he had a very brief role. I think he was like an.
He tends to have very brief roles in Kubrick movies.
Like he wasn't Halloran levels in this one.
Okay.
He was more like bringing their suitcases into a room and then just cracking wise. And it was fun. It was great. It was a nice little cameo. And then he shows up, I think, a little bit later with Peter Sellers' character. And it was just like... It was just a weirdly fascinating movie. And I didn't think I would like it. But it turned out... Yeah, it was kind of... It was never boring. Which is... Okay. Which is like that's the cardinal sin for movies.
Was it tasteful?
Yeah,
because it's a very a very touchy subject matter.
No, as far as I can tell, because I came in about halfway through, and it was basically when he just first, I think, absconded with her or whatever. Like, he stole her away and everything like that. But I think because it was the 50s or 60s, like their romance was merely implied. Like, there was never anything gratuitous about it.
Oh, okay.
It was, right. They merely hinted at it. I think they only went so far as to say that he was in love with her and she was in love with him.
All right.
But it was more, like, implied through the other characters. Like, I think Kubrick was like, yeah, do you want to get a bridal suite with her? And I think that is the most explicit they got with it. Not Kubrick, I mean Sellers, Peter Sellers.
Okay.
And that was the most explicit I think they got with the... though the book, I haven't read the book, though. I hear the book is a little bit different.
I haven't read the book.
I haven't read it.
It's just, with how graphic Kubrick would get later on in his career, I think it's definitely a warrant for concern.
It was, I get that, but it was still the 60s. Like, like they, wasn't until, let's see, The Shining was what, 1980? So, like, he could do a little bit more things with that than he could with, say, Dr. Strangelove, which is like in the mid-60s.
Yeah.
And I think also, 2001 was also in the 60s.
I want to say 68 or 69.
Although there was probably far less need to worry about that one.
Yeah.
Except for that weird computer banging scene.
Yeah, well, and the apes in the beginning.
Yeah, you have to worry about that. It's like, well, what are they gonna fling? Okay, no. It's just poo. So yeah, I found out also that, as far as I know, I haven't seen everything by Stanley Kubrick, but I think most of his work is based on books or short stories of some kind.
A lot of times they are based off of some kind of literature. I don't know about Dr. Strangelove or Full Metal Jacket.
Red Alert. Dr. Strangelove was based on a book called Red Alert, and Full Metal Jacket was based on a short story called The Part-Timers.
Oh, okay.
So Clockwork Orange also.
Yeah.
The Shining.
Yep.
Lolita.
Yep.
2001.
Yep.
And even his brief part in AI was based on Pinocchio.
Huh, okay. I wonder where...
I don't know Eyes Wide Shut about... I don't know about that. 50 Shades.
Yeah, he was an innovator.
It's like, I'm going to make one that's not based off of a book. Eyes Wide Shut.
This is pure Kubrickian imagination.
So, Nicole Kidman is naked. Oh, this is on fire already. And then Tom Cruise and hers. That's how he wrote, I think.
And I wonder what Spartacus was based off of.
Oh, he did Spartacus?
I believe so, yeah.
It's probably based off of Spartacus.
Yeah, I guess.
It was actually based off of Farewell to Arms by Hemingway. That's a complete lie.
Yeah, I know.
It's like I haven't read all the way through that book, Farewell to Arms. I have like 4 different Hemingway books that I can read in my somewhere. Actually, I don't know where the hell it is now, but yeah, I read like the first 10 chapters or whatever, and or first 4 chapters. I don't know. It was pretty good. I liked it. But yeah, it was about World War I, and decidedly not about like the Romans, which is, I think, what Spartacus was about. I've actually never seen Spartacus.
Neither have I. So I hear it's good.
Yeah. I mean, I hear. I know that I'm Spartacus is a quote that pretty much everybody quotes.
Yeah, someone took his Pepsi. I saw that commercial.
Wait, what?
I think there was like a Pepsi or some kind of commercial where someone I think had a Pepsi or some kind of product with the name Spartacus on it. And like, I have a such and such here for a Spartacus, and then 2 men stand up and say, I'm Spartacus, and then everyone says I'm Spartacus, and initially in the movie, everyone doing that is a sign of camaraderie.
Yeah.
And Spartacus sheds a tear for it, but in the commercial it sounds like he's crying because everyone wants his Pepsi.
That's funny. I like that. Is that like a newer commercial, or is that older back when you were kids? Or in between, I guess.
I want to say late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay. Is that when because did they use like the actual footage of the movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yep.
I get it. That's pretty damn funny. I remember.
I'm gonna have to look it up because now I'm butchering it. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering it, but yeah. Probably like a Little Caesars pizza.
That's why he's crying. I have a Little Caesars order for Spartacus.
Anyone?
No one. Pizza. And that's how you end the commercial. I remember back then they used to have, like, that was like the where they started like splicing in different movies of clips or whatever.
Like after Forrest Gump.
Yeah, it was just off to the races.
Yeah.
I remember seeing one during the Super Bowl like many years ago. This is around that time, like 99, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a UPS or FedEx kind of commercial or something. And it was taking clips from The Wizard of Oz. And
I vaguely remember that.
And I remember, like, I think they were, I think the Munchkins were sucking helium balloons. All right, I might be making this part up. But they all had, like, they were all normal talking, and then they sucked the helium, balloons, and Dorothy had her, hand to her mouth, like, like it was like some sort of, I might be mixing this up. I might just be getting this completely wrong now. But yeah, FedEx. That's the next commercial we're gonna have to look up. The I'm Spartacus Pepsi commercial and the FedEx Wizard of Oz commercial.
Well, I know one of those is a commercial that happened.
You said you vaguely remembered the FedEx one. You can't lie about it now. Play back the tape. I remember they were doing, like, in the late 2000s, they started doing that for DirecTV. They started taking, like, clips from movies. Like, they had a Back to the Future one, where it was, like, 1985 Doc Brown, and then it was, like, 2009 Doc Brown, where it was like, oh. And then anyway, and then he hawked his goods or whatever it was that he was trying to do, and that was it. But they also had one with from National Lampoon's Vacation with when he's Chevy Chase is swimming with Christy Brinkley.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't have Chevy Chase. That wouldn't have been funny. They had Christy Brinkley doing it, and I remember thinking, like, yeah, I can tell when it's the new Christy Brinkley, but I don't care. I still think Christy Brinkley's pretty. I really like Christy Brinkley.
Yeah, I do remember that commercial. Though I kind of wonder, like, in maybe like 20 or 30 years from now, is someone going to, like, put someone in Robert Downey Jr.'s part, in the Iron Man suit, or
100% they
or
are.
have some other guy as Thanos snapping, like he snaps and then it's everyone has Corona.
When you need a good refreshing taste that won't let you down, snap into a Corona today.
Or I guess 20 or 30 years from now, we'll be getting up there, so it's going to be appealing to our generation. Like,
so it's going to be like Medicare.
Yeah, it's going to be like, when you're uncertain of your regularity,
life comes at you fast. dusts in the Metamucil. It just undusts and it's the Meta... Oh!
Like, yeah, the dust footage reverses and it's like some glass of goop or whatever Metamucil is.
Like, there's one good thing about Metamucil that I can say that I experienced in my young age.
Yeah.
Which is, if you take a spoonful of Metamucil and you put it in get a glass cup, and you put it in the glass cup with some water, like half a glass of water, you mix it in, mix up really good, and you put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, then you take it out, and then you mix it up again, you put it in the microwave for another 30 seconds, you keep doing that back and forth. After like the 6th or 7th time, you got like the gack from Nickelodeon.
Ew.
It's the same consistency, it's great, but it's not a liquid, it's like a solid. So you can just, like, we made it in chemistry when I was in high school, and we, like, in between watching movies and everything like that, while you guys are working hard, we were making gack, and we, like...
You were making toys.
Yeah, we were sticking it to walls and everything, and it would just, it wouldn't leave a stain, it was just solid, so you can just get it off. I mean, you'd still get hair in it. It's still gack.
What does it make? Like, isn't that supposed to help you poop?
Well, yeah, but it also makes gack. It's something about the chemical reaction, I think, of the heat and the mixture. Like if you put it in, say, like I think we have a magnetic hot plate at school, and if you put the Metamucil in there, and if you put the magnetic stir in the water, and you let it go for probably half an hour or whatever, it would probably give you the same results. It'd probably give you the same gack, because I think it's a mixture of the heating and the mixing that does it.
Ew.
So I'm gonna have to try that. I have to buy some Metamucil or something like that, and I'm gonna have to make some, and then I'll just throw it out.
Like, why don't we wait till after the pandemic?
Well, can't I just eat it? Like, it's still edible.
Like, if there's any the last thing we need is for some old guy not being able to poop because we're using it to make gack.
Well, we can give him the gack. We can sell it to him.
It's full of hair.
Listen, do you want to poop or not?
Give me the dog-haired.
Well, no. The dog hair is an extra $2. If you want the cat hair, you're gonna have to pay $1.70. You can get 3 for $5.
Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna go and die.
Hey, suit yourself, man. We're gonna be here if you need us. Come get the amazing gack. There's like a line of old people around the corner. We need that gack. That was my Gerald Ford. They play with it for a little bit, and then, then they eat it. Oh, I wonder if the hardening it into, like, a solid, changes its properties in a way that it's no longer beneficial to eat.
It just makes them more constipated.
You're all blocked up. We found something in your lower intestine. It looks like gack. Oh, no. Oh boy, that's gonna be hell to pass. Very matter-of-factly, this doctor is.
And that's how they get Thanos. They feed him his gack.
Like, I'm gonna try an experimental procedure. It hasn't been really tested by the FDA, but he holds the guy's nose and he just blows real hard in his mouth. Oh, and then that's it. Oh, jeez, I killed him. Well, I guess that's why it's not approved by the FDA. We're getting there. So yeah, that's what the commercial's gonna be. That's a very involved commercial that involves not only the undusting of the Metamucil, but also people turning it into gack, selling it to old people, it getting blocked up, the doctor killing the man, and then just walking away with his hands in his pockets, and then it's just gonna be Metamucil. It moves you.
It reminds me of the conversation we had about the Ant-Man going up Thanos' butt.
Oh gosh. The whole Thanus thing.
Yeah. And just our take on it.
Because I remember I forget where I heard it the first time. It might have been just on the Facebook.
Yeah, it's just a meme for a little while.
And so yeah, their idea was, like, alright, why doesn't Ant-Man just, shrink down, go up Thanos' butt, and then just expand and just blow him to Kingdom Come?
Yeah.
But we were thinking, see, it's not going to be as funny without the visuals I'm going to be doing.
I know, it's just going to...
But you can see the visuals at least, so you can react. It's just going to, we think that what's going to happen is when Ant-Man expands, like, Thanos' anus is too strong.
Yeah.
And it just crushes and kills Ant-Man. So when he expands, Thanos just kind of goes oh, and just bends over, puts his finger up to his cheek.
He makes the copper-toned face.
He makes the little stinker face, and then just a stream of bloody diarrhea just comes out of him.
Oh.
And then Iron Man just flies away.
Thor twirls his hammer and goes.
And that's it. Everyone's done. They're not fighting this guy anymore.
I don't blame them. If someone just killed my friend with their asshole, I don't think I would be able to fight them.
It's like, you know what? You win. You win everything.
Yeah,
you win everything.
You are the dominant power in the universe now.
You just... Here's the glove. Just snap us out of here.
Here's the keys to the universe.
Is that like the universal mayor who hands Thanos the keys to the universe?
I just imagine it's a regular set of car keys.
He puts it in. Just you have to find the right spot, but once you do, you can just pilot the universe.
Yeah, you can't go faster than C though.
Yes, you can. He goes D. Yeah, he goes distance, I guess, because that's what D is usually short for.
He goes density.
That's not D.
Oh, what is it?
Density is usually rho.
Oh.
So there's a fun science fact for you. Well, that's all I got. It sucks that we only have 26 letters of our alphabet, so we had to start borrowing from the Greeks. And then we ran out of the Greek alphabet, so we did like uppercase, lowercase Greek, and then we just kind of like, you know what, let's just keep on reusing the same letters for different things.
Yeah, and then it goes into like which branch of math you're going into.
Like, I'll tell you this right now, K, lowercase K when I was in most of my science classes, stood for I think at least 4 different constants at different times. It's like, all right, K is this constant, K is this constant, and K is this constant. And I'll be honest, it might have also been Planck's constant at one point. I'm trying to think. I remember one of them was really easy to remember. Like, one of our professors gave us some good mnemonic devices, and like one of them was, I think, 1 times 2, or 1.2 times 10 to the third or something like that. He's like, all right, it's easy to remember, 1, 2, 3. It was like something ridiculous like that. And we're like, oh, that's actually is easy. But most of the stuff, like, I guess it wasn't a very good mnemonic device if I can't remember it right now. It's like, yeah, I can remember it for a test, but boy, I don't think I can remember it for, if someone came up to me right now and was like, what is the energy constant from the sun, the wattage constant? Like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. Is it 1080 joules per kilometer or something like that, or joules per second? No! Well, actually, it might be. Yeah, I think it is, actually. Or like 1067. I don't know. We always had all these numbers to memorize, and I always thought that was kind of stupid, because we never needed to know the solar constant in a life or death situation. Like, if we wanted to, we could always just look it up on the Google. So, maybe it's an age thing, because if my mom was teaching, she'd probably make us remember it, because my mom was definitely one of those people who were like, now, you're going to need to know this, because there's not always going to be a calculator in your pocket. And, we showed her, or her favorite was, what are you going to do when all the microchips go down and all the calculators go down? Well, how are you going to do math then? I remember telling her, like, I think we're going to be more worried about the fall of civilization than doing sales tax.
Like, I'm not going to need to know Avogadro's number if I have to count the chickens.
It's like, and it's funny how much in, like, if you're in the science fields and everything like that, you use these things all the time that it's like second nature to you, that you don't even need to worry about it. But if you're in like a regular, if you're working at like, I don't know, like the library, like I am, like, I can't tell you the last time I had to convert from Celsius to Kelvin. Like, it's not, that doesn't happen too often.
Well, I just mean in that fall of civilization scenario.
Oh yeah,
it's like, all right, I don't need to know, what a Planck length is, to determine that my crops aren't going to get me through the winter.
Yeah, but if you knew why, with that Planck length, you might be able to do it. If you shrink yourself down to a Planck's length, you will have crops. You will have an entire universe of crops till the day you die.
let's see, a plank length. Jeez, like you would probably die without, at a plank length, you would probably die without ever encountering an atom from that plant.
Wow, that's crazy to think of like that.
Like I remember doing like the orders of magnitude of a plank length, and I remember determining like the size of a plank length compared to the size of an electron is the size of an electron to the size of the solar system.
Oh wow,
like it's insane.
It's like I'm gonna invent a new one, half a plank length. That's a Mark length. That is.
Like, do you want something that small to be named after you?
I feel that it's only necessary that something that small is named after me. That's a Dell length. Because no one calls anything by their first name. Dell length. That's half a plank length. Like, but I thought plank length was the lowest form of distance that we could measure, or length. Like, yeah, he just said half of that.
Well, we already know that. We know things can be measured in sizes of a Briton. we have done that in the past. And we also determined that a certain height is within the misery band.
So was that 6'2" to 6'4", or is it just plain old 6'3"?
The misery band is between 6'2" and 6'4".
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's like a spectrum of misery. Like, anything below that, you're happy. You're a happy person. Anything above that, you're dead. So it's fine. You can be.
Life cannot exist as defined above that height.
It's like, I don't know a single person who's 6'5" or greater. That's a lie. I think I do know someone who was 6'5". It was I think it was a woman who used to come into my Wawa. She was definitely 6'5" or greater.
I met her. When we went to the casino.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
yeah. So I think she was taller than you, right?
She was.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, tall people are cool when it's not you, But I digress, I guess. I think 5'8", which is my height. I think 5'8" is the perfect height to be.
I think that is, considered like the optimal height in certain countries.
Yep. Not America, but in certain countries.
I don't know.
Like Yugoslavia.
I know there is a lot of heightism going around in the Tinder community.
Yeah, I know. I started it. Actually, it was the other way around. Like, I started heightism, and it worked out the opposite effect. Like, nobody likes tall people, Britain. Now go back and do something else with your life other than being tall.
Alright.
Knocking my stuff over. Always tripping over things like mountains.
And satellites.
Can't watch DirecTV because of you now.
Hey, you want to clear those sunspots while you're up there?
Like, my favorite thing is whenever, we're shopping at the grocery store for food.
Yeah.
And somebody asks you to get something off the top shelf. I don't say anything at the time. I let them feel. I let you feel like you're, important. And then as soon as their back's turned, I just let it happen. I just let it roll.
I don't know if I do it, but do I give you like a self-conscious look? Like I know I'm gonna get,
Oh yeah, you just kind of it's like, oh yeah, sure. But I hear in your voice this son of a bitch.
No, I'm not gonna
Son of
hear the end of it.
As you're slowly handing the little old woman her paper towels, you're just slowly glaring at me. Don't you say it. Don't you fucking say it. And we walk away. She goes down the aisle and pays for her food and goes home. And then and only then, I start making fun of you. Oh, Morrowind, can you help me get something off the top shelf? Look at you being useful. He doesn't even need a stepladder.
I knew it was coming.
I liked it because you started laughing before I made the joke, because you knew what the joke was going to be.
Oh. Britain's bounce.
He doesn't even need a stepladder. It's like, never. I've only been making tall jokes against poor Britain since the 10th grade.
Yeah.
And
nearly 20 years.
And you would think that I would be running out at this point.
Not even close.
Like, man, I I say or do something and I realize I've made a tall joke. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Like, I have a whole book of tall jokes that I should just write. You know, like...
You made one.
I did.
Yeah, you made...
it's sitting right over...
Yeah, it's over at the
it's up
entertainment
there.
center.
Yeah, that's right. That was a good... You know what? You should be honored at the amount of dedication I made. Like, this book, there was nothing half-assed about this book.
Don't get me wrong, it was a good book. it was well done. There was care taken in it, but I think it's just the most elaborate insult yet.
Is that the most elaborate, or the song I wrote about you?
You wrote a song?
Well, the You Got Tall, right here in River City. With a capital T that rhymes with T and it stands for tall.
That's tough. Like
the book was more lasting.
Yeah.
The book won more prizes. You got the Pulitzer, you know.
Got the Peabody.
Yeah. It was like the Newbery, you know, kid-friendly award, and they all dance around you. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Like you had that little bit of litigation with the Clifford franchise.
Clifford the big tall dog. It's like listen, my Britton sleeping in a doghouse outside of the apartment is way different than your fucking dog sleeping in that fucking doghouse outside the apartment. Jeez.
Like, my giant can take your giant any day of the week.
Like, you and it's like kaiju at this point. You know, you versus Clifford. Like, and then I think it turns out that after the fighting stops, like, you just take it for a walk and you pet it and everything like that. It's like, oh, and it just works out against me.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, there's, I'm guessing, a city of rubble around us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the army fought both of you and failed. Like, the dog barked and it just, like, knocked all the trees and the tanks over.
It was like an atom bomb blast.
Woof! You see just a guy floating in the air and then... That's it. Flies into the sun.
They're gonna do the Sarah Connor at the fence.
No, you gotta save the Sarah Connor at the fences. And that's actually pretty... Like, I'm gonna write a whole series of books about Britton and Clifford the Big Red Dog fighting the army and, like, fighting each other, but then becoming friends and... You know, like a kaiju fight, and then we'll wait and see how badly I get sued.
Like, don't get me wrong, I would pet that dog.
Oh yeah, of course you would. I'd pet that dog at my size, and I'm not even like, the dog is. I'm in more danger of being stepped on by the dog than being loved by the dog. He tries to lick me, and that's it. There's no peanut butter in the world that'll take care of that. It's like, you ever see a dog like see a bug on the ground, start eating it? Like,
yeah.
Like, you're gonna run over and be like, open your mouth, get that mark out of your mouth.
What are you eating? Get over here.
Drop mark, drop him. I'm just covered in goo and blood and I'm dead, you know. He buries me in the backyard.
I bury
like a bone.
It's like I bury you like a baby bird and he just digs you back up.
Don't put that down. He starts shaking me.
Oh, look what you did to my redwood.
Is that what you play fetch with him?
Oh, no, it's like my redwood garden.
Oh. Get out of my redwoods. Bad dog. See, it's a lot of fun to make fun of tall people like you. Or just you, I guess. With Clifford, it makes all the difference. Yeah. Like, if it was, I don't know, Gammera, it wouldn't be as funny. Turtles don't do anything funny.
Though, if it was me fighting Gammera.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of a little funny, I guess. I wonder who would win in that fight. You know, assuming that you are the size that I say you are.
Yeah.
I mean, he has fire breath.
Yeah,
but you eat those meatballs sometimes, and it's just as bad.
I don't know. I think I can make him depressed. He just won't want to fight anymore.
Oh, it's sad.
What's the point, Gammera? Everyone's just gonna be dust one day. Just stop. No point.
Then I just come out and see both of you sitting on the curb, a giant curb, mind you, sitting on sitting on a skyscraper with your hands on your chin, everything on your cheeks, just, hey, Mark. Like,
And
Britton, did you talk to Gammera again?
Look, what's the point?
Then it cuts to me just sitting there next to you guys, and my hands on my cheeks, like, this is terrible.
I imagine it cuts to like a map. Like there's like an epicenter around me of depression.
It's like in The Simpsons, the 3D model is like it's concave.
General, we gotta do something. Like,
What's the point?
like every missile we send in there gets depressed and just just falls out of the sky.
You just become the Incredible Sulk. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always sad.
Oh.
The sad Avengers.
And they just brick me up in a building. Like just to like they can't move me, so they just put a bunch of bricks around
Just
me.
build a building around you.
Oh, that was at least we don't have to look at them.
Like, I still kind of feel it, but I will admit it's not as bad as before. Yeah, I guess. What are we gonna do with Gammera? Let's just kill him.
Just send them home.
Was that the nuke?
No, that was just him flying away.
Oh. Your nuke sounds and your flying turtle sounds are awful similar.
Yeah, I need to work on that.
That's alright. You'll get there. So anyway, Splice. A diamond in the rough as far as I'm concerned.
A silly movie. But, worth a watch if you just want something, kind of goofy that really didn't know what it was doing.
Like, the fact that they made it to be a horror, I think, is the only downside of this movie. And the last 15 minutes. So, anyway, see you later.
Toodaloo.
That'll hold a little SOBs.